Hi, my name is Vanessa. Today I'm going to be trellising some houseplants and I'd like to take you along with me. So let's get started. Some of the trellising options that I have found and that I'm using so far. First, you got the hoop bamboo trellises that I've found are really great for the vining and twining types of vines, which are great for Hoyas especially. How do you know your Hoya needs to be trellised? As you can see here, like you'll see, they'll send up a long twining vine with small leaves and they're trying to twirl their way to something to climb. This one is another bamboo. It's like has a pointed tip. I sometimes just cut that off just so it's blunt, just because it just kind of makes a point where it makes it unstable. So I find it's easy just to stick in without that. So I've been finding myself lately just cutting that off. But these are nice for smaller vines. I'm going to do some of my Philodendron Micans with this one if they're short enough. And I found it's great temporary solution to get them up. And especially like with Philodendron Micans, as long as they're climbing up something, it helps promote those bigger leaves, even if they're not rooting into the actual stake. Another great one I found is these plexiglass stakes. These are great for long-term use. They don't ever decompose. So for plants that you have long-term, this will do really excellent. And first, let's do the Hoya Pubicalyx Pink Silver Ghost. So this one is definitely a twining type of houseplant. You can see it has these beautiful silver leaves, just so amazing. She has 2 growth points. She's ready for her trellis. So what's great about these, I can just put them into, this is a 4-inch pot. And so this can easily go into this 4-inch pot, no problem. And it could even be used for bigger pots if you needed. The other thing you can do if you had, like you wanted more trellis for it to climb on, you can put another one across it so it can climb up that as well. For now, I'm just going to do one hoop so I can just train these vines and then go from there. So there's a few ways I like to stake my Hoyas to their stakes. So one that I've always been really using just because is a Velcro. So you could cut it to any length. So no matter what size or different poles or whatever you're doing or how thick the plant is, this is great. But for Hoyas, I just recently got the clips in and they come in different sizes. So you're able to find them for whatever use you have. I have a thicker pole that I'm going to be using a larger clip like this. And then for this Hoya, it has a pretty thin hoop, a pretty thin vine. So I'm going to try this one. So let's get started. This guy, let's see how he goes. So I'm going to clip it. I think I'm going to just start clipping it here. Okay, so we got the clip. We're going to put it on the hoop. And voila, we got the first stem going. And the reason I really wanted to do the clips, it's just with the Velcro, it's great, but you have to cut it every time. And I really liked the idea of having just like a quick, no problem way to quickly trellis, because it does kind of get time consuming when you have to trellis a lot of plants when you're having to cut the Velcro. And then, you know, this will keep me a little bit better at, you know, being consistent with trellising, because like I think that's what I need to get better at, is like keeping up with the vines. I want to help it continue to thrive, you know. So, and then for this part, I'm just going to go with how it like naturally seems like it's twining, and just wrap it around. And then I think I'm just going to put a clip here for now. So that keeps it stable. It's not going to untwine it and then be in the air. And then something I was thinking, you know what, to set myself up for success, put a couple of clips at the bottom of this. So when I'm walking around my grow house, I could be like, oh, that needs another clip. And then just move it from the bottom of the trellis to wherever this needs. Like this is growing, and then I can just clip it on, setting myself up for some success. Love it. So here we go. We're done. Look at how beautiful, and look how beautifully it gets displayed. Before, this guy was growing all over its neighbors and they're kind of crowding each other. This, not only, this is the way it wants to grow. It's climbing. It's going to grow more bigger, beautiful leaves. It's going to promote it to be wanting to bloom later. And it's going to give good airflow. So we're going to keep pests and diseases down. This is a good start. So, and it, not only that, but look at how beautiful it looks already. I love it. Love it. Okay. So next we have this Philodendron Micans. So this is an Aria variegated form, which is, Aria is yellow. So it comes out yellow, and it, in highlight, it can harden off to a creamy color. If not, it could, if it's in lower light, can be yellow and green. Highlight, you can stress it pinks. It's a very pretty. Look at this one. This one just has phenomenal variegation. I love it. So we're going to trellis it because it's currently, this is how it's growing, which is beautiful, but I like to give it some something to climb. For me, it'll get it up off of its neighbors. And once again, so I've noticed when they're growing up, it helps them continue to grow bigger leaves. That's what I've found. So we're going to do this guy here. And I think before I've always used the Velcro, but I think these stems are small enough. Let's see if the clips work. But I am going to cut off the tip of it, just because I have found, like, I don't have to take it all off, but I'm going to give it a more blunt. So I've found scissors are not going to cut all the way, but it's enough just to cut an indentation, and then I'm able just to snap it off. And there you go. So then I will just stick it right in there. Boom. Okay. And then I usually try to find where I want it, so like I could kind of tell, like it'll face in really nicely. Sometimes it might not work perfectly, but I'm going to get it because that would look really pretty like this. So let's get the small clips. So I'm going to start up here just to get that. If it can't do it without hurting the stem, I won't use these. It looks like it will work. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. If I can't continue, I'll just use the Velcro, because the Velcro is a surefire, safe way to do it. These stems are a little bit, I guess they're the same size. I don't know why I thought it was maybe a little bit thinner. So these leaves, you see how they're like pointing down? As it starts growing and gets resituated, they usually, I've found, fix themselves and point upwards as they start growing again. But yeah, this guy is just so gorgeous. Look at this leaf. Look at those leaves. Like, this is amazing variegation. So that's how I would trellis this guy. Let's find another one. Let's do this guy. Look how cute. Beautiful. So this guy definitely needs a trellis or a stake. I'm sorry. The other thing I could do with the really long ones is I can do the U-hope. And I could actually twine it. What do you think? Let's try it. We'll try one and we'll see if we like it. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to use this stake that I've covered in Flora Felt. I did not come up with the Flora Felt pole. That I learned from Mick Mitty. He shared it on one of his live sales, and I thought it was so smart. And his the way he says that it works and that he believes in it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it because he knows a lot about, you know, philodendrons and aroids in general. Let's see. So this one's a little bit thicker. So I might find that it might be a little bit harder to push in, but it went in okay. So for this one, see how thick this is? This one is where I would either do the Velcro or use these big these big clips if it works. I've already tested a couple and I haven't been happy with the way it works. So these clips don't necessarily need to be there forever. I have found, like, yeah, they start anchoring to that Flora Felt, just like McMinnie said it would. And oh no, I cut it. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Okay. So what we're just trying to do, we're just trying to get this vine up against the Flora Felt. And I found as it's up against it, it will start anchoring to it. Like, I'll moisturize it every once in a while, but it's not like the moss pole where you need to keep it irrigated in order for it to, like, do anything. But yeah, this has worked really well. I'm going to do another video with this and just show you how I made it, and then a few of my philodendrons or plants that I've used with it so far and what they've done. But yeah, this is what this looks like here. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's try one of the very long vines with a U-hoop. So this is the one that was on my cover photo. Let's do it. Okay, once again, just do a trellis. Okay, so when it touches, the vine touches the stake or trellis, that's when I like to, like, put one of these guys. So, like, the felt is going to promote it anchoring to it, but I've found, like, these bamboos, they're just too slick. They're going to give it stability, but it's not going to, like, it's just too thin for it to, like, actually do anything as far as, like, really do any anchoring to it. So I think I'm just going to, yeah, let's just pin it there. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. So, like, this is gonna, like, fill out. This will vine, and I think as that starts vining, I'm gonna train it to just, like, go around and around this trellis. So we're able to get more vine than something like this where it has nowhere but up to go. So let's see how it goes. I'll give you guys an update on how these guys do. It'll be interesting to see these leaves, how they size up versus this guy and this guy. This guy doesn't have a whole lot of ways to go before he just tops off of this one. So that's the only really downside. So this is why I said these are more for temporary situations. Like for me as a plant seller, like this would be a good way. It's lightweight to get it to its new home. Safe, lightweight. This one, I love the way that this one came out. She's so beautiful. So that's all I have today. Thank you so much for joining me. This was my first long form YouTube video. So if you enjoyed it, and I promise I'll get better at this, but if you love learning about plants, I would love to teach you what I've learned. And as I continue to learn, I would like to share that with you. So if you want to join me, please like this video and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you again, right? Bye. Thank you.